That's right, y'all. I finally remember the password to this account. Nah, I'm playing, but in all seriousness, if you're new here, welcome. But if you're a returning viewer somehow, welcome back. This is part 3 of the boat build. Let's get into it. So, this rust and everything y'all see on this trailer is part of the reason, well, definitely the reason why I went up to the mountains and y'all saw that clip before of me getting scrap wood, because we gotta put this boat on blocks or something that's not the trailer, because this trailer needs a lot of work. There's screw holes everywhere, and this part that I noticed this other day where, you know, you have this gap here, and yeah, I mean, this thing is like, it has a little bit of a like rake to it, so obviously we don't want that. The trailer wheels need some work, obviously. The tires are from like 2014, so they'll definitely need to be replaced. But definitely, as far as paint, it needs a lot of it. So what I did is I bought some of this. It's just some exterior paint. I know you're probably supposed to use like enamel or something, but like, I felt it would work. It's primer and sealer, so I feel like it'll work for this application. I have some trailer lights for it, so we'll have to make a bracket for it or something, but yeah. Alright, so once we got the trailer out from underneath, you guys can check out the last video, part 2, to see what we did for that. I decided to put another pallet underneath to try to flatten the boat, and so the boat wouldn't lean as much as it was on the driveway. The next step was getting all the old paint off, and I used the angle grinder for this. I started off with a grinding wheel, but I switched over to a flap disc sanding wheel. And yeah, it was a pretty long process. Yeah, pull up a chair, buddy. So after I got all the paint off, or most of the paint off, all that I could from the frame, I wanted to move on to these brackets and get them all out. We were actually missing one of the brackets, yeah, I wanted to sand those down, sand that kind of cross beams or the cross members of the trailer down, and make sure that those were just as well painted as the frame. I didn't want any rust to be underneath these brackets, or yeah, kind of interfere with the paint job that I was doing in the first place. Why not just do it all the way? And so yeah, anyway, we had a bunch of bent brackets, bunch of bent bolts. So after I was done grinding everything down and sanding everything, took out the hose and just gave her a good rinse, and used the car wash as well. So also gave it a good wipe with acetone, just made sure that every surface was clean before paint. So after all that prep and all these wipe downs and wash downs and all this and that, it was time to finally paint. And we actually made a huge mistake, other than using the Valspar paint that you guys saw in the beginning. Other than that, we put that into a sprayer, as you see onto probably the left side of your screen now. Yeah, the sprayer just didn't work. The paint was too thick. We used a lot of thinner and it just wasn't working out. And definitely the wrong paint to use, not just in that sprayer, but on metal as well. Only use that on wood and stuff, decks or whatever, because definitely didn't work in our application. So everything you guys are seeing us do right now, we had to repeat that process with a spray paint can. You obviously won't see it. I don't want to put y'all through that, but this was our original plan. I went and got a brush and some rollers, tried to quick up the process, but yeah, that sprayer just wasn't doing the job. It wasn't as thick of a coat as I would want it. It was very thin. It seemed like rust would shoot right back through. So yeah, this process we did twice. So I know it looks like I dip out for a long time here, and that's because I did. I was actually prepping stuff in the back. The rollers and everything you saw me take off, I was wiping them off and kind of busting them down, trying to get them. Well, that sounded. Hey yo, I was trying to get them straight. Again, I was trying to get them so that they look like brackets again. So this next part I was actually pretty proud of, the paint choice that I used actually. So I'm sanding down the leaf springs and the axle, some of the bearings too, because it just wouldn't look right if everything else was painted and this wasn't. That paint can that you see right there is this heavy black, almost like super thick paint, and it did really well in this space. So I think I used it on the wheel well up top and also on the leaf springs that you see me wiping down. So while I'm down here working on all this stuff, I think it's worth mentioning that the leaf springs weren't in the worst condition. I'm not really an expert on them, but it was really just surface rust on those, and they were in, pretty good alignment. So I don't think I'll do any work on those. I will replace the bearings, wheels, and tires, just to be safe on all that. But I do paint those later on in the video just so that everything looks uniform and painted, and it's not a complete rust bucket sitting in my driveway. But yeah, it was definitely, a lot of work knowing that you have to sand this all down, wipe it all off again. I mean, yeah, prep work sucks, and yeah, as you can see, the paint kind of goes on easy. So here's all those rollers and brackets that I was telling you about. And I don't know the boat lingo. I guess boat people are gonna have to let me know. But that little kind of head thing that the winch or the crank holds on to, also got some paint on that. As you may or may not be able to tell, there's a lot of nooks and crannies and cracks, crevices in these rollers and brackets. So really kind of the strategy I took after, you see me roll on this paint or brush it on was kind of just pour it onto and into any nooks and cranny that I could find. So yeah, it was kind of just a real rough cut process to try to cover each and every inch that I could. I just didn't want any, rust to spread and for it to, look bad over, maybe even the course of 6 months. So yeah, I just made sure to cross my T's and dot my I's. Except for the fact that I used this stupid paint that's meant for wood, and I really just should have spray painted it from the beginning. So if you guys are, looking to paint any metal and you guys don't know how to, kind of like me, go with the spray paint, even though they're $8 a can now. It sucked to have to, go buy 6 or 7, 8 cans to, cover the trailer I already covered. But yeah, word to the wise. Speaking of being young and dumb, make sure you put a tarp down around all your workspaces. I definitely got a talking to for the black paint that just so happened to appear on their driveway. So this is footage from probably the least successful part of the project, which was banging those brackets back into shape. As you can see, I'm using the torch, trying my best to, use a sledge and get these things back into shape. But as you can see, it's moving my workbench more than it's moving the parts. So definitely the least successful part of the project. The brackets were able to go on reasonably straight. It's not like anything is super crooked or anything. And I was able to balance the boat once we put it back on just by loosening some bolts and then tightening them back up once the boat was settled. I just want you guys to drop a comment right now and, see if you guys have had one of those relatable moments. I walked out here thinking I was the shit, but really it was kind of one of those, does it really look that good? Because this was after the spray paint. It looked better than it did with the roll-on paint. It was just not really to my taste, but it looked better than it did, so I had like a so-so feeling about it. So drop a comment, let me know if you've had one of those feelings, either on a paint job or something in wood or metal, whatever you guys work on. Let me know if you have that so-so feeling on like, do you even like it or not? So that was how I was feeling this day. So it's now time to put everything back together. The bolts that were bent or unusable, either broken or super, rusted out, I replaced with brand new stainless steel ones. And the ones that I reused, I cleaned off as best as I could and then repainted over all the, rough looking parts. Now came the fun part of just bolting on some stuff to make it look as brand new as possible. I don't know, just something about new parts on something old, I don't know, it just makes it look just that much better. So I put a brand new trailer jack on it. I think I did it overkill. It's, I think, 1,500 pound capacity, and then a new spare tire holder. I also bought a new boat winch for it. So yeah, those are the 3 brand new products on this like 40-year-old trailer. The things I haven't installed include wiring, the trailer lights. I actually have installed the trailer side markers, but obviously there's no wiring to them. So as the trailer sits in my driveway, I feel like it's just, you know, no need to wire everything up yet. But once it goes in motion and everything is good with the boat, then yeah, I'll bolt those on. So I didn't film most of the bunk process. What I did is I used some of the wood we used to support the boat. I cut it down, put some motor oil on it, and then just threw some of this boat carpet on it, stapled it down. I lost some pretty valuable footage to this as well, if I haven't mentioned it already. Back in the trailer back onto the boat, or the boat back onto the trailer. It was a process, nothing too dramatic, but I thought it was gonna be the money shot of the video. Sucks I lost that footage. If I ever find it, hopefully I'll show y'all again. But yeah, as you can see in the background, the boat's already on, and yeah, this was basically the last thing that I needed to do. I thought I was gonna install them now. I haven't bolted them on yet, but yeah. Thank you guys for getting through my crappy YouTube video and my yappy voiceovers, but kind of need to do this at this point. I don't want to be that guy. I don't even think of myself as a YouTuber. I'm just a guy who does YouTube. But for those who like my video, I would ask that you guys hit the like button for me, and then those who feel the need or the want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It's free for you guys. It helps me. Yeah, thank you guys. And that point goes for new and returning viewers. If you're returning, thank you for the 3 of you guys. But if you guys are new, welcome here. I'm currently in this boat project, but hopefully you guys will see some other stuff coming down the road soon. I want to get into just different builds here and there. So stay excited, stay tuned, and thank you guys.